Hi everyone, in this video you are going to know about the data transforms in Pega. So in my previous tutorial, in previous video I have explained about the activity in the Pega. Now in this video you are going to see data transform in Pega. So what is a data transform? Data transform is a structured sequence of actions. It's one of the business rule in the Pega, so using which you can manipulate the data. So this was introduced in the versions of Pega PRPC 6.2 onwards. Prior to this 6.2, the concept was known as the data models in Pega. So this was generally used for initializing the data or updating the data or manipulating the data. So the data transform itself is the naming itself reveals like the data transforming the data from one form to another form, like conversion of the data, like so if we have generally these case management applications in Pega deals with the page list properties or the properties and properties. So if you want to manipulate, if you want to assign some values, like when you are navigating from one step to another step, so you need to assign the values of the properties, like you need to you need to manipulate the page list properties or anything, or also if you want to copy the data from one page list to another page list, if you want to remove the data, if you want to append the data, such kind of actions can be performed using the data transform only. So that is the main advantage of the data transform. I'd say actually Pega always recommends to use the data transform while developing your applications. Like when if you want to perform any kind of a business logic, manipulating any kind of business logic, then you can go for the data transform. Like instead of the same thing can be done using the activity also, but the activity is kind of a little bit overhead. So Pega always recommends to use the data transform, which is a lightweight. So it can be done very quickly, and so the execution time will be very much. It's a very less when compared to the activity, and also it's much faster than these activities. So how? In this slide you can see how you can create the data transform. Just you can go to either you can go to the Design Studio sysadmin. So directly in sysadmin you can find the data transform. You can just click on that. You can see what are the existing data transforms, and you can create the new data transforms from all there and applies to this specific class context, or else like from the create menu, just select the data model. It's a part of the data model category, so you can create the data transformers under this. So once you create the data transform rule, you'll have a there are two main important sections in this rule, like definitions and parameters. So in the definition tab, you can write your main business logic. So what are the different sequence of actions you can perform for your requirement. On the parameters section, you can you can pass the parameters to the data transform, like using those parameters you can use the parameters in your business logic, and say accordingly you can proceed with that. Actually, for every case management application, we have the pivot default data transform. So in the pivot default transforms, you can initialize all the values related to the case-related applications. That is the so you can find this pivot default data transform for every case-related application. That is the beginning of the kind of initializing the values to this data transform. To the your case management application. So if you look at in the definition tab, you can there is a action action menu control will be there. So you can find it's different what are the target properties and what are the source properties and how it is related. There are different kinds of actions. So in the first step, like when you open this menu control, you can find there are different set of options, like you can set is means like you can initially set the value of any property. Any property, suppose if you want to set the employee's salary, like employee data salary is equal to something like that. So like that you can set the values of the properties, or you can remove the properties. You can remove the values of the properties, and you can, so when you look at the, if you want to if you want to update any kind of pages, so generally this Pega always deals with the pages or page lists. So if you want to update any page contains different kinds of properties, collection of properties. So if you want to update any kind of properties on that page, you can use the update page, and also you can use apply data transform you can call another data transform. From this data transform you can sort the value, you can sort the value spaces values, and you can include the comments. You can include the based on some when conditions, like when I mean conditional logic, like when the property is like this, you can use this set of options, or otherwise if the when fails, like you can otherwise when you can use some sequence set of actions, you can perform actions. Otherwise like if else kind of thing, like an append is like appending the pages to the existing page list. On append and map to is creating a different I mean different class, different uplist class, and also you can use the for each page. And so for each page is, if you want to reiterate the pages in a page list, for each page you can manipulate. If you want to manipulate, and you can update if you want to update the properties, if you want to set the properties. For each you can iterate the pages using the for each page in, and you can exit for each, like so conditionally, if you want to exit for each page based on some condition, you can use exit for each. And exit data transform is the final, like the if you want to exit from the data transform, you can use the exit data transform action. So like this you can perform various actions on this data transform for your requirement, for your business requirement.